Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching. And with the help of Academy Sports Coach 2022, I want to talk to you about a session that I've designed with the help of a book that we have available on the website called The Complete Guide to Passing and Possession by Jabril Butana. I like this book because it's got a ton of drills that you can use for teaching possession within your sessions. It starts off with a lot of really great unopposed sessions, which can get stale sometimes if you don't have the right session plan in place, and it's just a lot of passing, repetition, which is great in terms of repetition, but it's not so great if you want your players to be engaged and really active in what's going on. So I thought they did a really great job of making them. Although they're unopposed, there is restrictions to them that make them exciting, that make them decision-making based while continuing to get you as many reps as possible. So the way I've designed this session from the book is I went from you start with the least amount of opposition as possible and ending with the most opposition amount possible. So you're creating a situation where players there is things in their way, other players, decision-making obstacles, things like that, but they're not losing the ball. Even if they make a mistake, they're getting to see their mistakes, but they're not losing the ball, so they're getting those high amounts of reps. And as it goes, it becomes much more game-like throughout the scenario. So the one we have here is we have a ball. The other team and the black team. The black team needs to make connections to the two other players in here with two-touch passing and get it from end to end. And we're just working on that passing technique. And what that allows our players to do is they can make mistakes. They can check how their body shape will affect their pass. All the different things that we're going to try to teach, whatever you're trying to implement into your session, whatever you're trying to get them to understand about your passing and possession game, you can put this into here. If you want your players to play wall passes and then run off that, you can make sure, hey, every single time we're looking for a wall pass and then we're looking for, run off of that for a 1-2. I like to really focus on pinging the pass to the front foot. So I need a different scenario guy here. So here I would have it. So I'd have this wide player here. I want my player to play a pass to, in this scenario, would be his left foot. So his left foot takes a touch in to his right foot to play to this guy. So I like to imagine that as you're coming to goal, how many times you see a pass gets played and it goes out here, and this player then is running outside of a frame of goal. But just even this, just getting them so that they can play to the front foot, so the player then can take the ball off and take a directional first touch and face up against the defender to continue to possess the ball or turn it back. So really kind of whatever flavor you want to put into this, you have some options here. And then what we would do is we jump. You can do 3-team, you can do 4-team here. We jump everybody into the box. Each team would have a ball. We can add a third team in here. We click the red. There we go. We'll spray them out, and they'll get their own ball as well. And what we've got here is you're getting the looks. Players are seeing opposition players. Now, they're not exactly going 1v1 against them, but they're having to make decisions. You can't just pass. Similar to last drill, you can't just pass whatever you want because there's going to be other players that are trying to pass and do what they need to do and play their game. And that makes it a little difficult in that first session. But now we've really jammed the box up. You put 4 teams in here, it becomes very difficult. There's chaos, it's hectic. But again, there isn't, hey, I lost the ball and now I have to work back and defend it. We're still just working on the fundamental technique. We're still working on, hey, can we learn what we need to do when we do have the possession? Not, hey, what happens if we make a mistake, we don't have it. I really like this concept. Really great book by Doug Lemov called The Coach's Guide to Teaching. And I've always been under the assumption that, being able to play will just teach kids. If you just play, you're going to find solutions to problems. And his theory is that, yes, that's great if you have the right direction. If you have direction, you know what to do, and you're not, you don't want the opposite of where you're just lecturing, but you want them to have clear instruction. You want teachable moments. You want to keep it at like 30 seconds. But you want to have the technique. If you don't have the technique, you can't execute the things that you want to do when you actually take away, these restrictions. You just play a game. So building this technique is really helpful here with low risk, okay, but still the visual cues that you're reading. From here, I just want to get rid of all these guys. Reset, clear the whole thing. We'll go to a 4v2 rondo, which now we're still very much numbers up. Okay, a 4v2, we should be able to keep possession fairly simply. If it's not too hard, you can add more players. If the point is that we don't want the players in the middle, winning the ball every single pass. Okay, we want the ball to be pinged around quite often, and then you're starting to see situations where if you make a mistake, you're losing the ball and it's turned over and things like that. If it's too easy, you put a third player in, et cetera, et cetera. But again, we're now just working on the concept of, okay, how do you want this pass to be played? We want to receive on the half turn. We'd like to play one touch here if we can to draw them in and then find a bigger switch. What kind of movement do you want for your guys? You want them one guy checking close and then him shuffling over to create that angle. Again, you're taking whatever possession game you want and you're breaking the game down into very small pieces, and then you're focusing on those moments that you want to see played out within your own tactical attack within a game. So pretty simple drill. Again, it's not anything earth-shattering or anything like that, but it definitely is building upon itself, and it's up to you as the coach to then implement the things that you specifically want to see come out of this. So then we would go into still numbers up, but creating similar to what we did with the unopposed. Still numbers up, but we'll bring in 4 yellows here, and then a third team. We'll play 3-team keep away. Now, instead of before where we had, hey, everyone has a ball, everyone's playing unopposed, but they're the actual, seeing the people as the physical, barrier. It's not you're going to lose the ball, but you just don't want to pass into people that are on your team. So now we have 3 teams, 1 ball. So let's say black and red are on the same team. They're keeping possession. Yellow's trying to defend it. If black loses the ball, now it's yellow and red trying to keep possession. Again, super simple game. I think it's really done at most levels. Once you get to U10, things like that, it just get a lot of touches on the ball, a little bit of chaos. It makes them think and make decisions. And that's, again, it's not the greatest drill in the entire world in terms of it's a special drill that only Pep does, but it's in place here. It builds upon our previous drills, and the same concept is there's a lot of chaos going on. You still are numbers up. You still shouldn't be losing the ball, but you have to read and make decisions based on the visual cues that are in front of you. From there, we'll clear this out again. And I want to break the field down into 4 corners here. And what I would have is a black and a yellow player in each grid. Should be here. Oh, that guy's facing the wrong way. Black and yellow player in each grid. And 1 neutral red player that can play in the middle here. And we'll play a ball here. So now we're going to add the element of dribbling into our decision-making and passing possession here. So this player has to keep possession in their grid. They can pass to any other black player in the other grids, but they can't leave the grid. The only player that can travel to different grids is the neutral player. So immediately as soon as this player's, maybe a ball is played back here, this player is now under pressure. Okay, this player has to make a decision. Maybe they pull a move where they cut out and play to red, and then carries, brings into the next grid. Black makes a run off of it, whatever it may be. But we're creating 2v1s. We're breaking it down, and we're keeping focus on a 2v1 situation, but it's a 2v1 situation in the context of 3 other grids. So while it might seem like, hey, you're breaking the drill down even further, we're breaking the drill down very small pieces, but within the context of a full field game, or even this could be like a midfield battle. You have your 5 midfielders here against 4 defenders. You have a 4-5-1 against a 4-4-2 here, and you're trying to keep possession within your midfield. Okay, well, how do you do that? You space out, you create options, make runs off the ball. You're, depending on where you are, right? This guy's checking here. He's giving a lane here. He's checking down low because he knows the pass is going to go to the neutral player. So that guy's going to engage and he's going to give him space. So you're making decisions within your grid, but you're trying to putting training wheels on the spacing of the possession and giving them the concept of, okay, here, we're doing all these things. We're dribbling. We're making these nice passes. Our body shape should be here. But how will that look when we're not on top of each other, making overlapping runs, when we're spread out and trying to maintain possession and move the ball in a wide field? And then finally, what I would do is take off all the training wheels, all the restrictions, and end with a full-on 11v11 scrimmage or 7v7 scrimmage, whatever you're looking for. And I think that will then be a test of basically how well you did in your session, how well were you then able to understand the concepts that you're trying to get out. Again, there's, the whole idea here is possession, but what's going to shape what possession looks like is your principles of play and the tactics that you want to utilize within your game. So you'll want to assess, like, hey, listen, I was able to do a really great job of helping them understand that I want them playing to the front foot so they can take the next man 1v1. I saw that 10, 15 times in the match. Really loved it. Awesome job. That concept got through. Hey, I really wanted them to look for a lot of ones and twos. I didn't see too many ones and twos. So that's something I'm going to have to go back and revisit in a different session, maybe make that the focus of that session. So I would love to hear, what are your big coaching points when you're teaching possession? What are the main focus things that your top 3 that you'd like to get out, and that would be like, hey, listen, if we're going to get out of here and the only things you learn is X, Y, and Z, this is awesome. They understand the possession game that I want to play. So you can put that out into the comments, and I'll also leave in the comments the link to purchase the book that we have on the website, Passing and Possession, the Complete Guide by Jabril Butana, because again, was the basis of the session, inspired it. And I only went through a few things, but if you go through, there is tons and tons and tons and tons of unopposed, opposed tactical drills. Here's the all the different table of contents with all the different things you can talk about in there. So again, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching, and I help you Academy Sports Coach. And I hope this session finds you well.